Will the new year bring a new coach and GM for the Bolts? Stephanie Kelly is in tonight for Paul Rudy, and she has the latest. Steph?
Thanks. That is the question. Now, less than 24 hours after beating Oakland in their final game of the 2011 season, the San Diego Chargers held their traditional postseason press conference. Now, the Bolts tried to run things business as usual, but when speculation about the potential firing of your head coach and general manager has been swirling for months, it can make things a little difficult. If yesterday's game marked Norv Turner's last as the Chargers head coach, he'll go down as their third winningest coach in history. The Bolts' 2011 season mired by a 6-game losing streak, the slide attributed in large part to things like injuries, underperforming recent draft picks, and several key miscues on the field. But in this business, the blame typically falls to one man first.
You're not going to be successful unless you have those guys that believe in you. And one of the things all the way along, I mean, it's easy to stand up there and tell everyone that, you know, if you'd done this, we would have won the game or whatever. We're coaching, and we have an outstanding staff. We're teaching. You know, I think the number one thing, our players understand what this team has been through the last 2 years.
Dean Spanos' decision expected in the next few days. Coming up later in sports, Brandon Stone will have the player reaction from Chargers Park. Plus, we've got highlights from all 6 bowl games.
You know what's funny is this season's been full of drama, and now the drama continues. How much longer do Charger fans have to wait to find out?
Well, and what's interesting is that a week ago it was they're both going. Smith's out, Norv's out. And now a lot of things that you're reading are saying they may both be staying. So a lot of questions still left to be answered in the next few days.
All right, great. We'll see you a little bit later.
The very fact that you're here this morning, do you think that's a pretty good sign? That you're doing this press conference right now?
Well, as leaving me in Oakland, you mean?
The San Diego Chargers holding their traditional postseason press conference earlier today. But with all of the speculation about Norv's future, it was hardly business as usual at Charger Park. Despite winning 3 straight AFC West titles in his tenure, the calls for Coach Turner's job seem to be ever present. And in a business that relies heavily on ticket sales, those customer complaints just can't be ignored. But for now, the Charger players are standing by their guy. Here's Brandon Stone with more. Here's a look at Turner's overall numbers. He never had a losing season here in San Diego, and his overall winning percentage of .605 is tied for first out of the 14 head coaches to ever pace the Chargers sidelines. Now, should Dean Spanos decide to make a change at head coach, Turner may not be unemployed for long. Norv's name is already popping up just about everywhere there's a need for an offensive coordinator. Now, Sunday's win for the Bolts may have saved Norv's job, but the same can't be said for other coaches around the league. The axe falling early today for St. Louis GM Bill Devaney and head coach Steve Spagnuolo after the Rams finished 2011 with a 2-14 record. Tampa Bay head coach Raheem Morris also a victim of Black Monday. It's hard to hang on to your job after your team loses 10 straight to finish the season. Now, the Chargers in the NFL, not the only story on this first Monday of 2012. We also have 6 bowl games on the docket, starting with the granddaddy of them all, the 98th Rose Bowl. Bucky the Badger ringing in the new year in Pasadena for a 2nd straight season, this time taking on Oregon. The Ducks showcasing their 13th Uni of the Year with a helmet reminiscent of the Dancing with the Stars Mirror Ball Trophy. First quarter, Oregon's DeAnthony Thomas breaks free and breaks Rose Bowl records with this 91-yard touchdown, and we're tied at 14. Second quarter, Badger Mike Taylor with the sack on Darren Thomas. Thomas loses the ball, and Luis Nezuego picks it up and takes it in for the touchdown, 28-21 Wisconsin. Fourth quarter in the shootout, Thomas rolls out and hits Lavassier Tuane in the end zone for another Duck score. With 4 minutes left to play, the Badgers down by 7 and threatening. But Jared Abaderas fumbles the ball. It stays in by an inch, and the Ducks recover. Wisconsin just running out of time in this one. Oregon wins the granddaddy of bowl games, the final 45-38. Over in Phoenix, 4th-ranked Stanford taking on 3rd-ranked Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl. Tackle of the game coming in the second quarter. Cardinal freshman Ty Montgomery takes the kickoff, says, "I can return this," but teammate Jeremy Stewart says no way and tackles his own guy in the end zone for the touchback. This game back and forth all night. Stanford with a chance to win it at the end of regulation, but redshirt freshman Jordan Williamson's 35 attempt sails wide left into overtime we go. Stanford with the ball first. Q Williamson, Q wide left once more. This one there for the Cowboys taking, and take it they do. Quinn Sharp drills the 22-yarder, and Oklahoma State wins it, the final 41-38. A pair of 10-3 teams meeting in the Outback Bowl in Tampa. The Big Ten's Michigan State taking on the Bulldogs of Georgia, and neither team was ready to let their season end today. With 22 seconds left in the game, Michigan State's Le'Veon Bell sends it into overtime with the 1-yard touchdown. One, even two overtimes wasn't enough for these teams, though. We go to OT number 3. The Spartans' Dan Conroy splits the upright from 28 yards out. Georgia's Blair Walsh attempting to send the game into a 4th OT period, but the Spartans block the kick and get the win. The final 33-30 Michigan State. Another Big Ten versus SEC matchup in Jacksonville. Ohio State taking on Florida in the Gator Bowl, or as some anti-Urban Meyer fans calling it, the Trader Bowl. Second quarter, Gator Andre DeBose takes the kickoff from the 1-yard line up the left sideline untouched. The 99-yard touchdown makes it 14-7 Florida. Third quarter, Ohio State punting. Chris Rainey gets a hand on it, and Graham Stewart scoops it up and picks up 6 more. And surprise, surprise, the Gators win the Gator Bowl, the final 24-17. Over in Orlando, the 20th ranked Nebraska taking on number 9 South Carolina in the Capital One Bowl. Cornhuskers on top early, but the Gamecocks block the point after and return it 86 yards to make it 6-2. That's a long way for Stephen Gilmore to run for 2 points. Just as the first half expires, Connor Shaw launches the Hail Mary. Alshon Jeffrey grabs it and scores the final 30-13 South Carolina. And let's go to Dallas for the Ticket City Bowl. Number 19 Houston taking on embattled 22nd ranked Penn State. Houston quarterback Case Keenum on his game. 40-yard score to Patrick Edwards here. Rob Bolden in at QB for the Nittany Lions. Matt McGloin, who's still sidelined after that locker room brawl with his teammate. Bolden has a rough day. The final in this one, Houston wins it 30-14. Now we must take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll hit the prep pitch and the hardwood, plus check out the latest Aztecs fight song when the All Sports Report returns. Welcome back to the All Sports Report. We head to the South Bay for some prep soccer action. Sweetwater hosting Hoover. First half, Sweetwater's Angel Lopez scores on the cross. Red Devils up 1-0. Minutes later, Sweetwater's Martin Pino with the free kick from 30 yards out. He finds the back of the net. He'd add another goal late in the second, and the Red Devils win it. The final 4-1. Moving over to some hoops, Castle Park visiting Olympian. First quarter, Olympians Nestor Cervantes with the drive and bucket right here. Then it's Eagle Ricky Jones with the nice layup. And Olympian lays the hurt, the final 72-10. Staying in the South Bay, San Diego Academy visiting Mar Vista. Mustang Jr. Sean McDonald with the hot hand tonight. He hits the three-pointer here. And in the final seconds of the first quarter, San Diego working the ball down the floor. Jack Hagan hitting the three. Mustangs go on to win it, the final 72-33. And finally, did you see that? Now, many of you are familiar with San Diego State's Tim Shelton and his skills on the hardwood. But have you heard him jam off the court? Here's a sneak peek of the Aztecs 2012 theme song.